we are here with NetSuite Director of Product Management, Nick Mooney, and Chief Security Architect, Chris Blum. Thank you both for joining us today.
Hi, great to be here.
Thank you.
Now, Chris, we talk a lot about what it takes to run NetSuite. Most just assume that it's in the cloud and it's just there, available whenever a NetSuite user logs in, right?
Right.
But for the cloud operations team that makes it happen, it's really a huge undertaking. Can you tell us a bit about what the team, the cloud ops team, is providing to NetSuite users?
Yeah, absolutely. So the most important thing I would say we provide to our users today is that we protect the identity of Sweet Stanley and Sally. We have this job.
Great.
No. What we do is we provide the infrastructure for how the whole service works for everyone, everywhere. And what is infrastructure? What do we mean? What is a cloud here? We mean we run all the things that enable the service for everyone that no one wants to pay for themselves, right? So we have to operate the servers and the stack all the way up to things like the login page, which everyone uses, everyone wants to arrive at, they want it available all the time, but they don't want to be the ones that's responsible for the login page. We deliver that, and then we deliver all of the servers across all of the data centers to make sure the service is available, performant, and secure all the time.
Now, you're both part of the innovation keynotes, and I think there's a topic called infrastructure as code. Nick, can you talk about what that actually means?
Yeah, we're really excited about this multi-year transition we've been making to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. What this does is let us sort of shift our philosophy when we think about our infrastructure, our data centers, from a very physical layer where we're buying a whole bunch of servers, we're putting them together, plugging them into a physical location that we have scouted. And instead, Oracle takes care of all of that physical layer for us. And we build on top of their infrastructure as a service platform. And this lets us think about our data centers, our infrastructure, a lot more like software, and do all of the exciting things that come with software, like automation, like version control and peer review and all of these great interesting things. And so some of the immediate benefits we've seen from this already, it's a lot faster for us to deploy data centers in new places. It took us 20 years to build our first 6 data centers. It took us 2 years to build the next 12. In the last year, we've built 11 data centers in 5 new regions around the world. And this is only possible because we think about our infrastructure as software, and we use software to deploy those blueprints.
So do you, in those terms, are we going to get even faster at doing that?
A little bit faster. 6 weeks is pretty fast to build a new data center.
Sure.
And most of that time is because we have really rigorous testing standards. And so it really only takes a few days to build the data center. We spend a lot of time to make sure it's high quality before we open doors.
And so what's the customer, the customer's not supposed to even care. Just give me the infrastructure, make it work, make sure it's secure. But what are they getting out of this?
Yeah, there are some direct customer benefits to this as well. Reliability is one that I like to talk about. The more data centers that we build from this single piece of software, the more consistent our data centers look around the world. That means fewer surprises, less sort of custom, bespoke things that we need to worry about, and that improves reliability. The other benefit is availability. We have international customers all over the place, and we don't always have data centers in the same place that our customers are. Being able to build data centers faster, being able to build smaller data centers with a less upfront cost means that we can put more data centers closer to where our customers are.
Fabulous. Now, we were here earlier talking with Evan about OCI and some of the other Oracle initiatives that are benefiting NetSuite and its customers, and he did talk about AI and machine learning, and that's obviously a fascinating frontier. Can you talk about the capabilities we're building out there?
Yeah, another Oracle technology that's really allowing us to innovate and do some exciting stuff. We are building a platform for machine learning. We expect to see those features across the NetSuite. We're also integrating some of OCI's artificial intelligence services, which are really, really cool. One example of an artificial intelligence service is document vision, so the ability for programs or computers to look at a document and not just scan and recognize text, but also understand that text. For example, taking a picture of an invoice or a receipt and being able to not just read the text off of that, but understand that this is a receipt and there are multiple items on here and this is the cost of each of those items. And having machines do this for us means we can really scale those kinds of features and reduce human workload. The first example of this intelligence service, for example, is going to show up in bill pay and NetSuite API automation real soon.
I was going to ask if that was part of
Yeah.
what we saw earlier. Yeah, fantastic.
Really exciting.
And I was going to ask if it's going to help Fritz approve my expenses.
Or reject them quicker.
You might know what she's buying a little bit faster.
Dang it, dang it, I can't get away with those little sneaky ones. Just kidding, Oracle. I'm not doing anything like that.
Yeah.
Chris, around security, what are some ways that we are evolving to really stay ahead of security at NetSuite with OCI?
Security is a game you can't just win at and call yourself a winner, right? You win every single day. The threat environment is changing all the time. Every day, every month, we hear about new threats. Some of them get fun, fancy names. Sometimes we see the victims of the threats in the environment with different breaches. It's a scary world. There's lots that's changing. We have to change as it changes. Our team is dynamic. We've always been dynamic. We've always been responsive. And that's why we've been able to do as well as we have in security so far. But to stay ahead, we think adopting these OCI, ML, and AI technologies in threat identification, in early detection of inbound threats, in rapid mitigation, we've identified opportunities there, and we intend to dial those up over the very near term. We've seen huge wins with these technologies, and we think they're going to pay long dividends of shorter cycles on making sure that when you hear something in the news that you're worried about an event like, well, are we protected? Is NetSuite okay? You can be confident, not only have we already validated our protection against that threat, we're already thinking about how do we face threats like that more broadly. That's our cycle, that's what we do time and time again.
We heard a bit about that, some of the phishing attempts with AP automation when we were talking to HSBC earlier, and they were telling us that sometimes in some of the processes with AP, you could spend upwards of what, $8,300 a month in
Per incident or
per incident or something,
Wow.
which over 10 months, it adds up. It's crazy.
Very rapidly.
Yeah.
So where we can use AI detections to, at the very perimeter, drop the noise on that attack threshold to zero so they don't even make it in this far.
Right.
That's where we can find even further wins. We think there's real wins out there. We also think there's a lot of opportunity in taking all the data we have and converting it to Bitcoin. Like that's something we've thought about. But we decided that wasn't going to work, so we're moving into Sweet
NFTs?
Stanley, Sweet Sally NFTs.
Yes,
Oh, there we go.
that's great. That's
right.
great. Oh, well.
Fabulous. Been waiting for this day.
I know. I think we all have. I think that was an April Fool's joke, by the way, that we posted on the marketing side. I think this year, actually, we joked about a Stanley NFT. But Chris, what are a few of the other, kind of tying back to our first question, right? The things that our customers really don't see. What are a few of the other hidden benefits of OCI?
I would say it's a scaling human power capability, right? When we were doing this job, I don't know, let's say 10 years ago. I've been at NetSuite since the beginning as well, 24 years. And so just going back even 10 years, we had hundreds of people, somewhere in that kind of range, working to maintain the service for all of our customers that have been here before then and through then. Now we have thousands of employees working just in NetSuite on this problem, and we're backed by thousands upon thousands of OCI professionals that are making sure that we have all of the elasticity, all of the scalability, all of the dynamic capability that we need so that when customers say, I'm ready to scale, that we can say, that's great, we're ready to scale with you.
Of that.
Nick, anything you want to tease for the innovation keynote later today?
Oracle technologies have been a boon for us in the ability to innovate. There are lots of technologies that we get to leverage from them, and they're going to continue to make these massive investments in OCI as a platform. NetSuite gets to leverage all of those technologies and do a lot of things that we always wanted to do. And that's a huge part of our talk today.